Assalamu alaikum. Learning the Turkish tenses is very important to learn the language, of course. We have more tenses in Turkish than in English. I have started explaining them through a playlist. You will find it in my channel and I will link it below. Today, the tense that we're going to take is geçmiş zaman. Geçmiş zaman. If you've watched one of the videos about the tenses, we also had geçmiş zaman, but this one is a little bit different. We will see how. It is not the past tense only, it is the reported past tense. What's the difference between the reported past tense and the normal past tense, which is found in English? First of all, we use this reported past tense, the geçmiş zaman, the reported one, when we have uncertainty of the action that is being asked about. You don't know whether this action happened or not. Also, when you're talking to a person and telling him something that happened before with you or with someone else, you can use this tense. When you're sure of an event that occurred in the past, this is called geçmiş zaman. When you're not sure, we will use the geçmiş zaman, but the miş'li geçmiş zaman, the one that we use miş, and we will explain this in a while. Now, how do we form this geçmiş zaman, the miş'li geçmiş zaman? First, the suffixes used in the reported past tense are mış, miş, muş, müş. Of course, how do we know which one do we use depending on the last vowel in the word that we're going to add these suffixes to? For example, let's give an example. You have a brother. He told you, today I'm going to go to the cinema. During the day. Then later your mom asked you, did your brother go or where is your brother? You will tell her, abim, my brother, sinemaya gitmiş. He went to the cinema. Why didn't you say abim sinemaya gitti? If you use gitti, it means you're sure that he went to the cinema. He then told you that I went. But you just heard from him that he will go. But maybe he didn't go. That's why you tell her abim sinemaya gitmiş. Now this tense is not found in the English language. In the English language, we only have the past tense. We don't have something called reported past tense. That's why when you translate both sentences, here I have gitmiş and gitti. Both of them in the translation will have the same meaning. But now, since you are learning the geçmiş zaman, the miş'li geçmiş zaman, you know gitmiş means he's not certain. You're talking about something that happened before. And gitti means for sure that action happened. Now we have 4 ways to express this tense. Positive, which is olumlu in Turkish, like I wrote. Negative, olumsuz, I did not write. Positive question, olumlu soru, did I write? And negative question, olumsuz soru, did I not write? We will take each form. First of all, the positive olumlu. What do we do in the positive olumlu? You add the miş suffix at the end of the verb root. As we said before, it depends on the last vowel, whether it's miş, mış, muş, müş. Depends on the last vowel. What is the verb root? If you watched the previous videos, you know the verb root is, I've explained that. For example, yazmak, to write. When you want to take the verb root from that word, you take only yaz, not the mak. When we add mak or mek to a word, to a verb, it is the infinitive form. But when we are doing the tenses, you take only the verb root, which means you remove the mak or the mek. The rule is, in the positive olumlu, is you have the personal pronoun. Here, the last vowel of the verb root is either a or u, a or e, o or u, or ü. If the last vowel of the verb is one of these, what do we do? In ben, I, in a or the last vowel is either this or this. You write mış, mış. Now what's the personal suffix of ben? It's im, But in our case, since it's over here, we have to use So you write the verb before it and you write mışım. Sen, mışsın. You know by now that the suffix of the personal pronoun sen is sın, sin, sun, sün. But because we have mış, you write sın. As we all know, for the o pronoun, we don't have any personal suffix, so it's mış only. Biz mışız, siz mışsınız, onlar mışlar. The ones after the mış are the personal pronoun suffixes. Second, if the last vowel is either a or e, you do the following. Next to ben, you write the verb and then mişim. Sen mişsin, o miş, biz mişiz, siz mişsiniz, onlar mişler. We continue the same. If the last vowel is o or u. Ben, then you add the verb muşum. Sen muşsun, o muş, biz muşuz, siz muşsunuz, onlar muşlar. And for the ü, müşüm, müşsün, müş, müşüz, müşsünüz, and müşler. Of course, we'll take an example. Let's take some examples now. We have gel, come, yaptu. These are the verb root. If we add gelmek, this is infinitive. We remove the mek and we stay with gel, yapmak, to do. We remove the mak and we take the verb root. Now we add the geçmiş zaman addition, the reported one, and we will see the first example. This is what I just said. Gelmek to come, gel, come, and we'll take the gel. Ben, gel. What did we say in the previous table? Miş, and then its personal pronoun, the ben personal pronoun, im. The suffix, its suffix, is im. Gelmişim. I came. Sen gelmişsin. This is the suffix of the sen pronoun. You came. O gelmiş, no suffix. He, she, it, or came. He, she, or it came. Biz gelmişiz, we came. Siz gelmişsiniz, you came. Onlar gelmişler, they came. So we're just applying the rule. The pronoun, the verb root, not the verb, the infinitive form, then the miş, and then the im, the suffix. Of course, again, I repeat that a lot, we can remove all of these personal pronouns, ben, sen, o, biz, siz, onlar, we can remove them. Why? Because im is always for ben. So when I don't write it, I know gelmişim, I came. Gelmişsin, you came. Gelmiş o, and you continue this way. Another example is yap. Yap, do. Yapmak, to do. Same idea. Here I look. Yap, this is the verb root. The last vowel is a. So what do I do with it? I use not e. This is the vowel harmony rule, which is explained in another video. I will link it below. Yapmışım, I did. Sen yapmışsın, you did. O yapmış, biz yapmışız, siz yapmışsınız, onlar yapmışlar. Same idea. You take the verb root, you add the mış and the appropriate personal pronoun suffix. This was positive, olumlu. The second one is negative. What do we do? What do we add? Now, to form the negative for this reported past tense, what do we do? You put the negative suffix, which is ma or me, where after the verb root, and then you add the mış or mush or müş, and then the personal suffix. Let's look how. The last vowel of verb root is either. If it's either one of these letters, you write these. If it's either one of these letters, you do this. What did this rule say? After the verb root, which is over here, you add the negative suffix, which is either ma or me. Then we go back what we explained before, the mish and the personal pronoun suffix. Then the verb root, the negative form or the negative suffix, then the reported geçmiş zaman addition, and then the personal pronoun suffix. Sen mamışsın. O mamış. Biz mamışız. Siz mamışsınız. Onlar mamışlar. We'll take some examples later. We have when the last vowel in the verb root is e, I, Ö, Ü, you use me this time. Vowel harmony rule. Me, miş, im, memişim. Sen memişsin, o memiş, biz memişiz, siz memişsiniz, and onlar memişler. Let's see the examples. Same word. Gel, come. Ben gelmemişim. I didn't come. Verb root, the negative suffix, and then the reported geçmiş zaman suffix, and then the personal pronoun suffix. Gelmemişim. I didn't come. Sen gelmemişsin. O gelmemiş. Biz gelmemişiz. Siz gelmemişsiniz. Onlar gelmemişler. Same rule. We just apply the rule over here. Now notice the last vowel in the verb root, which is gel, is e. That's why we used memişim. So if I go back to this table, see, I said if it's a, you use me, not ma, and you continue. The second example is yap. Yap, the last vowel is a, which is one of these. So use mamışım, mamışsın. Ben yapmamışım, I didn't do. Sen yapmamışsın, you didn't do. O yapmamış, he, she, it didn't do. Biz yapmamışız, we didn't do. Siz yapmamışsınız, you didn't do, the plural you. Onlar yapmamışlar, they didn't do. This was negative or olumsuz, and I think now you've understood this tense more. We're just taking the rule and applying. Now we have positive but with a question. So it's olumlu and soru. What do we do? To form the olumlu soru, you separate the miş from the question form. So you will have the verb root, next to it the miş, and then you add the question form, and then you add the personal pronoun suffix. We have the exception in onlar. What do we do? This time we put the personal pronoun of onlar, the suffix of the personal pronoun, the suffix, you put it next to mış, and the question will be alone. And also in ben and biz we have to put the y to protect. In ben and biz we have to put y, letter y here, between two vowels so that two vowels don't meet next to each other. Let's see how. You will understand it more when you see the table. In the positive question, you put the mış next to the verb root, then with a space, then you have the question form, and then the person pronoun suffix. But as we said, in ben and biz, we'll have a y as a protection letter between two vowels. So, the last vowel of the verb root is a or ı. Let's go to sen. You write mış, mısın. This is the question. The m over here is the question suffix. Sin, as you know by now, is the personal pronoun suffix, the suffix of sen, and the mış is our verb that we're going to take today. O, mış, mı. We don't have a pronoun here. O, mış, mı. We don't have no, as you know, we don't have a personal pronoun suffix. There's no suffix for o. Biz mış mıyız? Siz mısınız? Onlar mışlar mı? We said in onlar is exception. You don't put the suffix of the personal pronoun after the question form. No, you put it next to the mış. See here? Sınız, is, sın, This is the personal pronoun suffix. We put it after the question form. But in onlar, we put it before and then the question form alone. If the last vowel is A or E, you do the same. This time we have the vowel harmony rule. We don't say mish, we say mish. Mish miyim, mish misin, mish mi, mish miyiz, mish misiniz, mişler mi. In O or U vowel harmony rule, you use mush this time, and in Ö or Ü, use müş. So the rule is, one more time, you have the verb root, then next to it, the suffix of this reported geçmiş zaman, the past tense, reported past tense, then a space. You put the question suffix, and then you put the suffix of the personal pronoun. Let's take examples. Gel, ben, gelmiş miyim? Did I come? So the verb root, next to it miş, and then the question form, and then we have Y protection letter between two vowels, and we have the suffix of the personal pronoun ben. Sen gelmiş misin? Did you come? O gelmiş mi? Did he, she, it come? Biz gelmiş miyiz? Did we come? Siz gelmiş misiniz? Did you come? Onlar gelmişler mi? Did they come? If you still have any questions, you can put them in the comments section below. The other example is yap. Ben yapmış mıyım? Did I do? Vowel harmony. That's why we used We have a over here as in the table that we explained. Sen yapmış mısın? Did you do? O yapmış mı? Biz yapmış mıyız? Siz yapmış mısınız? Onlar yapmışlar mı? Till now we took 3 cases: positive, negative, positive question. We still have negative question. But in the comments section below, I will write couple of verbs for you to try these 4 cases on your own. Just try them below and I will check them and give you the right answer if you have some mistakes. Just take one verb of these verbs that I'm going to put and put them in the 4 ways: the positive, negative, positive olumlu or positive question and negative question, which we will explain now. The last one is negative question olumsuz soru. How do we make the verb in the negative question form? It is the same as the positive question, which we just explained before, but you put the mış before the negative suffix. We have negative suffixes either ma or me. Just put the mış before it. Remember, in the positive question we did mış mıyım, mış mısın, mış mı. Now what do you do in the negative one? You put the negative suffix before it. Mamış mıyım, mamış mısın, mamış mı, mamış mıyız, mamış mısınız, mamışlar mı. When the last vowel of the verb root is a, o, u. When the last vowel, the verb root is e, i, ö, ü, you use me. Memiş miyim? Now, because here we have e, which is ince harf, we use e over here. Memiş miyim? Memiş misin? Memiş mi? Memiş miyiz? Memiş misiniz? Memişler mi? Our examples again. Gel. Here, did I not come? Ben gelmemiş miyim? This is the verb root. This is the negative suffix to make a word negative. The miş is for the reported past tense. The mi is for the question form. And we add later, next to it, the person pronoun suffix. Just in ben and biz, as we said, we put a y as a protection letter. Ben gelmemiş miyim? Did I not come? Sen gelmemiş misin? Did you not come? O gelmemiş mi? Did he, she, it not come? Biz gelmemiş miyiz? Siz gelmemiş misiniz? And onlar is the exception where you put the personal pronoun suffix or its suffix, the onlar suffix, you put it before the question form. Same as the positive question form. Onlar gelmemişler mi? Did they not come? Yap. Ben yapmamış mıyım? Sen yapmamış mısın? O yapmamış mı? Biz yapmamış mıyız? Siz yapmamış mısınız? And onlar yapmamışlar mı? Did they not go? Look at the comment section. I will write some verbs. Take one verb and do it in the 4 forms that we just took: positive, negative question, and negative question. Also, I will link below the playlist where I explain all the Turkish tenses.